Hello everyone, welcome to PC Builder. This is a web application that helps you build your PC and help you choose different components. So if you don't have an account, you can just click sign up first and get an account. Because I have an account, so I will just log inside directly. After we successfully log in, we can say this is the main page of our application. What is show up is a product table, and it contains all the product, include CPU, RAM, and motherboard, and GPU. And you can click different buttons to watch different tables. For CPU, this is the CPU table and all the details attribute, and so did the GPU, RAM, and motherboard. Our application supports 4 major functions, which is add, search, edit, and delete. I will show each of it separately, so I will use CPU as an example. We can first add a data. We can just give it a random value, give it a release year. For the product type, you can just input anything you want, but it will finally transform to CPU because the system knows that you are trying to insert a CPU record. And I will just leave others as empty to test. So for the release time, this will be calculated based on the release year. Because currently it's 2022, so no matter what kind of value you input, it will become to 0. Because it will calculate it, use current year minus the release year. So if you make it to like 2025, it will become to future. We can test it. After you submit it, you can say the release time become to future. And also the product type is CPU. It also works for different tables. And as you can see, the pops up will change based on the attribute that this product have. For the RAM, as you can see, it will be different. So did the motherboard. So for CPU, I will just try to test the edit. We can click it. It will get all the attribute that currently exist in this row and put it in the input box. And you can change it. You can edit. We can just input anything randomly to test. For the release year, we can change it to 2012, and the release time will just automatically become to 10. For the product ID and product type, this too is read only, so you can't change it. We can submit to test it. As you can see, the release time will automatically become to 10, and the rest will change based on what you input. Then is the search. You can search any keyword you want, and as long as you check a box to tell the system what kind of product you are trying to looking for, it will show you that you want. We can use this one as an example. We search a Chevron in CPU. As you can see, all the product that contains this keyword will be show up. We can also search like release year is 2023 for the GPU. As you can see, this is release year is 2023. The reason that these records will show up because their product ID also contains 2023. So then we can test the delete functions. After you click it, this record will be deleted. And so did RAM and motherboard. We can test it. So here is the final part of our application, is adaptations. So for the first one is find adapted motherboard based on CPU. So we can just find a CPU name and we input here. It will show you all the adapted motherboard. For the second part, it actually give you a rank for the current row based on the support memory type. This is all the adapted motherboard, and also they provide a rank, advanced, medium. So the second part is find adapted CPU attribute based on motherboard. We can find a motherboard. In order to match more CPU, I will just use a sample keyword gaming. So after you input this one, it will show up a CPU group based on the CPU process. So after you click it, as you can see, the adapted CPU will be grouped based on CPU process, and also it show up the count. Then if you input over here, it will also give you a grid for the current group. So this is all about our applications, and I hope you enjoy it.